Hi guys, my name is Mira, and today I decided to talk about a topic that I've been not really struggling with, but been really actual in my life recently, and with which I can't say I really struggle, but I am called by the powers of universe, God, or whatever, or galaxy. We're always made to work on, and this topic is detachment. And attachment. I mean, I don't struggle with attachment, I struggle with detachment. However, attachment is a huge part of detachment, so that's why I'm going to talk about it too today. And yeah, so let's get started. First of all, what is attachment for me personally? So, for me personally, attachment, I think it's a normal thing to get attached to things or people. I mean, we're all human beings. Obviously, we have some feelings, we feel certain way towards certain things, and getting attached to someone or something is not a bad thing. I think it's absolutely normal. However, sometimes we tend to get attached to things or people more than we should. This includes maybe putting this person in the center of something, or maybe putting something, like maybe giving something so much value, for example, I don't know. Or that's in that point, like also overthinking plays some role. But however, yes, like attachment in general, it's not a bad thing, but over attachment, it's exactly when it gets bad. So yeah, as I said, we're human beings and we just tend to get attached to things or people, which is absolutely normal thing. But sometimes we get over attached to people or things, and in my opinion, the reason behind it is maybe some trauma or unhealed part of you that puts more value on something else than they put on themselves. Like, better explained, that we try to find our value in some by giving this value to something else and expecting that it's gonna value us back. But no, it's not how it works, because most of the time it's just not how it works. So that's how we get trapped in this attachment circle, I would say, cycle. And yeah, that's where the whole problem starts. For example, I mean, the most basic example, let's bring up, I don't know, a toxic relationship. The person usually cannot break up from their partner because they're so attached. Sometimes I've even heard this, I mean, me as a person who also have been in toxic relationship, and from other people who have heard been also in toxic relationship, I've heard them always being like, no, I don't love this person, I cannot stand this person saying I love you. And then we're like, okay, but why you don't break up? And they're like, yeah, but I cannot break up because I'm attached. And that's where like the whole problem comes to the surface, that you put so much value on another side and expect them to value you, but in fact you look for your value in the wrong place. You have to look for your value first inside of yourself. So that's why attachment is a really, really big topic, and it has to be really, really researched and worked on. And it's not something that you can work on like over 2-3 months. No, sometimes it takes ages. Like me personally, it's been like 5 years since I'm trying to work on my attachment issues. And yeah, I'm still working. Yes, I fail sometimes. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I fail. However, I work on it and I know that I have this problem. So that's why I also try to keep myself in control, so that I do not hurt myself more, because this attachment, having an attachment problem, is already some sort of harm to yourself, and not being able to control it doubles that hurt and doubles that hurt to yourself. So you should be able to first recognize that you have attachment issues. Second, which type of attachment issue you have, by taking a test on this website, my attachment style. So there's this 4 attachment styles: avoidant, anxious, healthy, obviously, and anxious avoidant. These two mixed up. So second, you have to recognize which avoidant attachment style you have, so that you can keep it in control and know what to work on. Third, you have to stop self-sabotaging, and that's so important, I think, when you work on your attachment issues, because attachment issues is really something that, again, like, it's not really on the surface. Like, it roots really go deep down in your unconscious mind, and that's why it always has to be controlled. And like, by, even though you don't realize it, but you're so prone to sabotage yourself and your relationships, all kind of relationships, like romantic, friendships, etc. All of them, you're so prone to sabotage them, that you really have to recognize the patterns, like how you sabotage them, what makes you sabotage those relationships. Like, working on your attachment style is really something that needs a lot of work. But again, coming back to what I said, the first step is to recognize it and know that you have it and admit it and work on it. And don't rush, chill. We're just vibing here, so there is no need to rush and be like, oh yeah, I have to do it now. No, it's a lifetime journey. Just enjoy it. But just be aware of it and don't enjoy attachment issues, but enjoy working on yourself. I would say that. Yes, absolutely enjoy doing yourself better and better with every time. Okay, so yeah, that's my opinion on attachment issues. Yeah, and what attachment is in general for me, and for me. And yeah, and what is detachment? Well, basically it's detachment, right? Like detaching yourself. However, I think this is actually like the biggest part of the issue, because attaching yourself is so easy, and as I said before, you do it unconsciously. Like, you don't realize how you do it, you just do it. And you don't even do it, that's your brain does it for you. Like, you don't do anything, you just get attached. Your brain gets attached, and you mostly, you don't do anything there. It's so unconscious that you don't realize. But detachment is exactly the part that needs your consciousness. And for that consciousness to work, you have to work out unconsciousness, attachment. And yeah, so going back, why detachment is so important. Detachment is important in many perspectives. I would like to divide it into sections. So the first part, I would say, is in terms of more theoretical part, like in terms of health and psychology, like more, analytical way of it. And the second part, why detachment is so important, I would say, for me, is more on universe and energy level. Both I'm going to explain right now. So first part, psychological part, analytical part, why detachment is so important, is just simply because you stress yourself less and you live longer and happy life. That's it. No, okay, I mean, yes, it is, but genuinely, like, when you attach yourself, you are so consumed by the thoughts about this thing or this person that you cannot simply live your life. This person or thing constantly on your mind. For example, okay, let's leave the person. I don't know, you have an exam You know, you're in uni and you have an exam. Yes, it is an important exam. But listen, 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 listen. If you're gonna fail it, there's somebody gonna die. The world is gonna go crazy. The world's gonna ruin or so or what? No. You're just so attached to the idea of this exam is so important and you have to do it that you cannot focus on the actual matter that, yeah, like why I'm studying. Yes, I'm studying. I can pass I'm gonna pass the exam. Yes, of course there might be a possibility that I'm not gonna pass. However, I did my best and I'm gonna succeed in it. And even though if I'm not gonna pass, it's okay. I can take a second chance, or when, and then I'm gonna prepare myself better and then succeed. But being so consumed by this idea that, oh my god, now I have to do it from first try. Oh my god, what my parents gonna think? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Yeah, you just really forget about everything around you and it consumes you. Exactly, that's why people during exam, like this midterm, during this midterm season, they look like they're about to like give up on this life because they're so consumed by the idea of exams that they just simply forget to nourish themselves, to go out, breathe some air, you know, just to relax. Like people get attached so much to the idea of exam. I mean, that's just an example. Or I don't even have to talk about the person. When you get yourself attached to person, we all know this case. Everybody has been through that at least once in their life, and you, I don't know, let's call it like the first love, right? Because it's like the part that everybody remembers, that you always think about them. Oh my god, what they're doing when they don't answer for you too long. Oh my god, what they're doing. Are they with someone or something? Like, chill. Chill. Yeah, okay, under all of these things, also exam and also with this person, and in general this attachment thing, there is a lot of things underlying behind it, such as lack of self-confidence or lack of self belief, etc. Yes, but to go deep, we have to start from surface, you know, like the iceberg. So like we go down slowly. And yeah, that's why detaching yourself is in the first place important for your own self in every matter, like your nervous system, your immune system, all of your body system, like everything. It's just important for you to detach because that's life is stressful anyway. I mean, time to time. I don't say it's hard, but it's stressful. Our daily life is stressful. We live in the 21st century. There's always stress everywhere. And getting these attachments makes your daily life even more stressful. Why would you do that to yourself? Just enjoy the world. And the second part, more energy, universal part of why detachment is so important, is that I truly believe that when you're attached to someone, you block their energy and your energy in the first place. So let me give you an example. Recently, I've been talking to this one of my friends, and she's been explaining me how she met this one guy in a train on her way back home, and this guy, like, he fell in love with her and he asked her out on a date, but he wasn't her type, so she straight away told him no. Okay, no. But this guy was head over heels over her. He was always saying hi to her in the train, like in a polite way. He was really polite person. He was always like, oh yeah, please have a seat and stuff, you know what I mean. And the girl, oh, she's still not into him, but she was liking the attention that he was giving her. So she would, even though she told him a no, like, no, I don't want to have like anything with you, she was continuing to talk to him, to like, okay, yeah, being polite, it's like you say hi, okay, but she every day after the work, she was getting on a train, she was talking to this guy, asking how his day been. He was asking her how's her day been. Like, they were just casually talking about everything, family, friends, blah 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 blah. And then she comes to the work and I'm like, okay, wait a second, but you said you don't want anything with this guy, so why are you doing that? And she just said like, yeah, okay, I like the attention that he gives me. Since this girl was so attached to the idea that the value he was showing her is her own value, because she was lacking her self-worth, since she was so consumed with this idea, she was blocking his way and she was blocking her way. Because I told her like, okay, but you know that you block his, his life path, because okay, he liked you and he was head over heels over you, okay, but what if his actual soulmate and the girl he's meant to be with, like, you're here in the train, but what if she's here? And since you keep him attached to yourself, he never comes and sits on this side of a train to meet his life partner and soulmate. Just because you're attached to him, you make him also attached to yourself. She was like, yeah. And I say to her, yes, like, you block his life path and you don't let him move on, and furthermore you don't let yourself move on, because if something was meant to be with this person, it would have gone somewhere, because they've been already communicating for a couple of months and there's still nothing. Like, she still didn't change her mind about this guy. And I told her, yeah, like, you're also blocking yourself. Like, maybe, like, one day, maybe you don't have to take that train and you're gonna meet a guy on a bus station and he's your soulmate. Like, just because you are so attached to the value he puts on you and you want to get on that train and like get this attention, you block yourself and him. So just don't do that. Like, just detach yourself from it. Like, put the value in the right place. Like, you have to put your value to yourself. You have to put this inner work to yourself so that you don't get attached to things so easily. Because it's normal to get attached, but most of the time we get attached to unnecessary things just because we lack this self-worth, and it keeps us so back in our life path and we don't realize it. That's why we can't really go further. Like, that's the reason why a lot of people at the age of like, since from what I've seen, they're at the age of like 30, 35, and they're like, yeah, I've been struggling with this my whole life. If you know you struggle with this your whole life, why you didn't put in work on time? Like, you shouldn't be scared to face yourself. Like, you have to face yourself. You have to face yourself. Otherwise, you're just gonna live with regrets. And in my personal view, there is nothing worse than living a life with full of regrets. So yeah, that's an importance of detachment, so that you can live your life freely, fully, and enjoy every day, moment, year, every second of being on earth. So yeah, and the last chapter here is, how do you practice detachment? So that's a funny topic for me to talk about, because I've been working on detachment for years now. But however, I noticed that with every time I'm getting better and better in this, so I can give some tips for people who are also as young as me and they're still figuring out who they are, and they're still figuring out what's wrong with them and how to be the best versions of themselves. So my personal advice number one in detachment is, again, going back, self-reflection. Self-reflection. Do journaling. Write things down. When you write things down, you see it and you can recognize that it's an attachment. Okay. So just do that work. Okay, honey? Just do it. Yes, I know. Sometimes it might be scary to face yourself. It can be scary. But if it's that scary for you, then don't start like all over again. Just take it easy on you and go slowly, slowly, slowly. Because if you're not gonna do that work, life is gonna teach you the hard way. I truly believe in that. If you're not gonna do the work you have to do, life is gonna teach you that lesson the hard way. And trust me, you don't wanna learn that hard way. You better struggle yourself than you've been taught hard way. So do that work. Journal. Just journal, okay? That's a 101 step, like number one step. 101 of detaching practices. So second step would be that you are the most important thing in your life, and your opinion is the most important thing in this life, and what is actually matters. Your opinion about yourself and the self-worth you put in yourself is what actually matters. I don't know, like, just you have to know how to detach yourself from opinions of others and other things. Okay, I don't know whether, I don't know, this guy told this about blah 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 about me. Okay, whatever, that's based on his personal experiences. This girl said something about me, blah blah blah. That's also based on her personal experiences as traumas. It has nothing to do with you personally. Like, literally, opinions of others really has nothing to do with you personally. It's so personal, and it's so based on their own experiences and traumas and whatever they've been through, that it's really doesn't really have much to do with you. It doesn't. Trust. So to be resistant to those opinions, in order to be resistant to those opinions, you have to work on your self-worth, about which I talk time to time, but I still don't have a complete video about it. Well, that might be a topic for the next video. But yeah, you put your self-worth in this world. There is even this one quote that, like, if you watch Magnificent Century, amazing, Kösem, my Turkish girly comes out, you know. In the beginning of the series, this Safiye Sultan, she says to Kösem, like, we're given so many names throughout our life, but the most important name is the name that you give yourself. And that phrase of her is my life quote since then. Like, genuinely, sis knew what she was talking about. And that's so true. People give you so many names throughout this life, but the name that actually matters is what name you give to yourself. It all goes back to you putting and estimating your self-worth, not somebody else. You and only you. Slay. And rule number 3 during detachment and how to practice detachment is try your best to break attachment circles. Don't go back to it, because let's say the situation, you're so attached to something, and you journal about it and you recognize that it's not a healthy attachment, and you're like, okay, I recognize it. Then the second step, you kind of have this thing in your head and you're like, yes, that actually doesn't matter that much. Like, why do I get attached to it so much? And you're starting to detach from it. But then, since you did just like a iceberg's top version, Like, you work out, iceberg stop, and there is still twice bigger iceberg under the water. You're like, oh, okay, but I missed this attachment. So you go back to it. No. No, no, just no. Okay, just no. Like, the moment you recognized it, you did your job and you detach yourself, try to keep it detached, okay? Try your best not to go back. Because what quote says? Reading the same book twice does not gonna give you different ending. It's not. It won't, because it has the same ending. It's the same book, okay? You getting back to the detachment, it's not gonna change the ending. You're gonna get again, and then you're gonna have again this moment of, oh my god, no, I don't need that, why I'm attached. And then again and again and again. And then the only thing that's left is you're gonna go drowning like that Titanic, okay? Don't do that. Don't let the iceberg win, okay? Do not let the iceberg win. Let Titanic get to its destination place, like, please. Okay? Yeah. So, matter of fact, this is the hardest part of detachment process. Not going back to attachment. Not attaching yourself back. That is the hardest part of it. However, if you make through this part, honey, you won. You won, okay? Because at some moment, you're just gonna even detach from idea of attaching yourself back. I'm telling you, you just will. And yeah, the moment you will do that, you'll be like, yeah, I actually don't need this attachment. Why am I even putting so much effort in something that is not given back, like the science, you know? Why am I giving and spreading my beautiful energy to things that don't matter? And thanks God I didn't do that. I kept my the attachment to myself, and now I'm free. I don't care. Everything's chill. I don't have to worry about anything. I just worry about myself. But it's also not much of a worry, because at the end of the day, everything goes the way it has to go. So yeah. And I think here we're coming to the end of the video. Oh my god. You know, watching this video, not watching, like doing this video, you know, you put it all so you're able to put it all so perfectly in, like, the steps, like how it started, how it goes, how it has to end. It's so good. But I also obviously understand that it's not always that smooth. It's never that smooth. If it would be that easy, then people wouldn't be struggling with that for years, ages, generations. People wouldn't be struggling with that if that would that easy. But that's okay. We're all human beings, and we do mistakes, but it's never a mistake, it's always a lesson. We fall, we get up, we fall, we get up, but at the end of the day, one day, you just gonna get up and you will stand. That's it. That's like how kids learn to walk, right? They walk, fall, and then at one day they're just like standing and they're walking, and you're like, oh my god. So that's what happens at the end of the day. So let's say instead of one day, day one, and put a little bit of work for a long-term happiness. So yeah, love you guys. Thank you for watching. And I would honestly like to know and have some recommendations about what should I do my next video, and what should I share my opinion about next video, on which topic. Yeah, I would like to talk with you guys, so let's stay tuned. Love you. Bye.